Hello everybody, welcome to Gregg's Vintage Workshop, where I'm restoring history one piece at a time. It's been a while since I put a video out, and there's a reason behind that. As I've mentioned in a couple of my last videos, I have a Philco 54C. Anyway, I've been working on that 54C. That's a radio that I actually started about 1.5 years ago. I got it pretty much torn down, and then I got sidetracked and got on a different project. Don't even remember what it was. And then of course that project led to another project, that led to another project, that led to another project. Anyway, I finally decided I was going to get back on this 54C. Well, it's not that easy after 1.5 years. I found all my chicken scratching notes. I found most of my photos that I had taken, unfortunately not all of them. And I found my schematics. Hard part was finding all the parts. I thought I'd put all the parts in the same location. It was not true. If I had, I'd shifted some of them around. One by one I found all the pieces. I even found out that I had taken the restored variable capacitor for the 54C, and that's what I used in my breadboard AM transmitter. So I had to buy a new variable capacitor for my AM transmitter. So that's in the works. That came in. I'm good for that. Anyway, I've been taking a lot of videos of that 54C restoration, and that video will be coming up very soon. Anyway, that's not what this video is, but I wanted you to know that I have been doing work, and I have been making a lot of little videos that I'll have to seam together into the video that you guys will ultimately see. Tonight's video is a little bit different. I had been on eBay and I saw something that intrigued me and something I think I can use here in my house, and that is a AM transmitter that should be capable of running all the radios in my house, because it's unique. It's basically, I'm going to read this. This came with it. It's an AMX-002R AM broadcast transmitter. This transmitter was actually made for use in the real estate industry, and they would set it up in the house, and it has a 5-minute loop on it, and in that 5-minute loop they could talk about the house, and as you would drive by the house they would have, you know, tuned it to station whatever, and you could listen on your car radio to the broadcast that they were putting out. They had the description of the house, so you could pull into the driveway and you could listen to that. Well, the gentleman Ron out in California that had this one and another one that he was selling had a really nice write-up on it and nice instructions that came with it. Very nice. And so I ordered it, and it came in. And it came in yesterday, and I was anxious to get it all hooked up, and I got it hooked up. And at first I wasn't getting anything out of it. I mean, it played. He actually has a 5-minute oldie loop on there with some broadcasts in it, but I could hear it through the device because it actually has a speaker in it and a volume control, but I wasn't picking it up on the radios. So I had sent Ron a message telling him that it didn't work, and he's like, well, I tested it, you know, before I boxed it, and it worked fine. He said, make sure you check the antenna. So I was looking at the antenna, and I noted that on the antenna terminal screw that it literally would move. I could move it up and down. The screw was moving up and down. I was like, that doesn't make sense. That shouldn't be that way. That might be something to do with it. So I went and looked at the box, the shipping box, and sure enough there's an imprint on the box, and I think what happened was in shipping it got jostled, and I think that antenna terminal has broken loose from the circuit board. So I contacted Ron, and he has graciously offered to refund my money. However, I told him I really want this thing if we can make it work. Would you like for me to open it up and see if I can figure out what's going on with this antenna terminal? Maybe it's just something that I can solder. And he said, yeah, that's fine. You can do that if you want. If it doesn't work, I'll still refund your money and send it back. So I'm hopeful that I can make this thing work. And so that's kind of what this video is going to be tonight. Is I'm going to show you guys what I found, and then I will attempt to make the repair, and we'll see if we can get this thing working. So that's what this is about. I hope you guys enjoy it. I wanted to get you something out faster than I'm obviously getting this 54C out. And so that's what this video is. And so without further ado, let's get on to this AM transmitter from a real estate company and see if we can get it to work. Okay, so this is the AMX002R AM broadcast transmitter. You can see it's a fairly modern looking device. And this is what I was talking about. This is the antenna terminal. Now, when I tightened this up on the thing, I noticed it moved a little bit, but what I didn't notice, turn it like this, was it's like really loose, like something broken in there. So what we're going to do is open this up and see if we can figure out what's going on with it. What it would do when I tried to hook it up, tried to hook up several radios. I could slightly hear it playing in the background, but a big hum. It was just like a big hum, and it was drowning it out. So we're going to take this apart. Let me get a couple of screwdrivers here, and we'll take this apart. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. I see we got screw here, screw here, screw here, and it looks like a screw here and a screw here. I hope I'm in camera because I can't see the camera when I'm doing this. Let's go ahead and take these two here out first. I see a tag on the bottom here. You guys probably see it too. Model TH 5.0 AM transmitter, 520 to 700 kilohertz, 120 VAC, 18 VDC. Okay, let's get these out. Thought it was really nice that Ron said that go ahead and give it a shot, because I told him, I says, I really need this, I really want this to work. And so he was like, well, I told him, I said, I have a channel, I have a YouTube channel, I restore old radios. If you'd like for me to open it up and take a look, see if it's something I can fix, I'll do that and see if we can get it going. And if so, I want it. And I said, but you know, if I can't get it going, then I'm hoping you're still willing to refund. And he said yes, he was. So I think that's a fair compromise. So let's see if we can get this case out of here. And there we go, we're off. Alright, we'll set that to the side. Let's take a look, see what we got in here. there is the terminal, and yes, it looks like it's on a board. So the board doesn't look broken, at least from what I can see here. Got some things I gotta take loose. Whoops, sorry, bumped you guys. Take some things I gotta take loose. It looks like I'm gonna have to take this switch out, the speaker loose. I could unplug the speaker there, but they've kind of got it glued there, so I don't want to take that loose. Alright, let's go ahead and get these things. It says this is a control lock, remove key to prevent changes to message or frequency. That's this. So it doesn't look like a twist, it must just pull. There it is. This also has the capability of having a mic in, so you can do your own voiceover. Like if you wanted to create an atmosphere like you were a disc jockey, I guess you could do that. It also has input in, line input in, for like a CD player or like a phone or an MP3 or something like that. You can input that stuff. So I said I think that this is a really cool device, and it should have the range to broadcast in my whole house. So that's why I was pretty excited about it, and that's why I don't want to just give up on it just yet until we know if we can't make this thing work. So we're going to do our best to try and make this thing go. So, not saying we can fix it, but I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that all that's wrong is that antenna. I'll show you guys the box here in a minute. Ron had it packaged well. I mean, he had it wrapped in bubble wrap, and then the actual package had peanuts in it. So, I mean, but that, as you can see, that sticks out quite a ways, and I think that's what's happened. Is it just, the box was probably shuffled just right, and it made an impact on it. Alright, so let's see. Looking at what I got to take loose. I still get that loose. Let's go ahead and screw this off. Be nice to be lucky and all that's wrong with this, just this antenna terminal. Get this little switch here. Get that out, and we'll get the speaker loose. And then we'll see what we got left to hold that in there. Put these screws. We don't lose them. And let's see, do the speaker. Now the speaker looks like it just has a couple of tabs holding it in place, so I may not have to take that completely out. I don't want to come all the way out, so I'm not going to try and strip them. We should be able to slide that. Yeah, that turned out that way, so we should be able to slide that out. Just like that. Well, the speaker looks like some bugs have been in it. I got some little holes in it. This front looks like that's held on with a couple of screws. I really don't want to unplug those plugs. I don't want to risk damaging anything. So I'm thinking that if I take the front loose, it looks like it's just those two screws, that I may be able to take the whole works out that way. I do see I've got a screw here, screw here, screw here. Don't see anything in the middle. It's like a little screw here and a little screw here. So it looks like maybe 5 screws. I'm a little nervous about the speaker though. Let's go ahead and take the front screws out. A little bit different screws, so we'll keep those separated. Over this side, see if I can keep from bumping the camera. Hopefully that will release the front. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, I see. They're tabs. They're like tabs. There we go. Like that. Okay. Get the other tab loose. There we go. Okay. So the front's loose. So now everything should slide that way once I get these screws out. The two back ones look a little different than the front ones. They look smaller. I've grabbed me a magnet and pull those out because I can't get my finger down in there. And my little screwdriver here has a magnet, so that worked. Alright, so that's the screws for the back. Let's move all, I want to shift this stuff around. I don't want to, that's more the cabinet stuff. This is the front over here. You guys can't see because I got you off camera, but I'm shifting this stuff around so I know what is what. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these screws out here. Can't get my finger in there. Pull those out. In a different way. Now, I'm not sure how old this is. It doesn't look super old. It looks like fairly modern technology. So I'm not going to worry about the electrolytics in this if I get it functioning. I think it'll be fine. Alright, so that's those 3 and that's those 2. That should be everything. Let's move a little speaker over here. Let's see if this will come out. Yep, it is. It's sliding right out, I think. There we go, I think. And that tab stuck. There we go. Alright. Move that speaker out of the way there. Might just tape that here in a second. Once I get the chassis slid out of the way. Alright, there we go. Move my tools out of the way here. Get me something to set this on. Here we go. And very carefully we'll flip this over. Hopefully very carefully. Get our towel out here and there we go. I'll get you back in camera. Get this on my towel better. There we go. And the speaker. All right. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So I'm going to get my mirror out here. Not my mirror, but my magnifier, so I can see it. You're seeing it kind of big. I want to see it kind of big as well. Waiting for my solder sucker to heat up. So this is the box that it shipped in and the wrapping. And if you move this aside right here, See if I can get this turned up without bumping my camera around where you guys can actually see it. Right here, you guys are in camera, see that imprint right there? You can see that the box is kind of imprinted right there. And you can see the wrinkle in the box, right? So something's impacted right there. If I flip this box around, without bumping the camera, that's that same imprint right there, and you can see there's actually a little hole, the dirt spot and the hole, and that's right where that would have been when it was in the box. So I think that's what happened. I think it was working fine when it shipped. I think it got shipping damage, and this is what happened. But we're going to see if we can't resolve it, and hopefully I'll have a really nice AM transmitter for the house. Alright, so this is our solder sucker. Let's see if we can do this. See what we got here. I'll make sure there's nothing on the other side that I should be seeing here. It doesn't want to pull completely out, but that's fine. I don't have to pull completely out. It just needs to be in there. And it looks like this. It's a one hole pad here, so that should be fine as long as I solder that back. Let me get my soldering iron running. Water tangled here. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can get this thing. Now, one thing I do notice here. Excuse me, I gotta look at this a little closer. Okay, I just want to make sure that that is a different bridge right there, and I don't want to get onto that, so. Alright, let you guys look through the magnifier, see? See what I see. I have to have that so I can see. Alright. Let's go ahead and do the reverse of what we just did. Put this back in the chassis. See if that repair took care of it.
I could call, but you get to hang up. Stand on your motorbike. And for the most part, I don't lie. That was just rowdy nights. That was just rowdy. Did you predict how that was dark? Did you try and see it for me? And you had me climbing up trees. Get me standing cause the reeds were older than I am. Cosmic. Stand on your motorbike.
Almost home free, folks. Alright, you don't have to watch me put the rest of the screws in. I'm going to get these screws in. And then I will plug it in and hook the antenna wire up and see what we get. I'll bring it back. Alright folks, there it is. I've got it hooked up to my tablet here via the input jack, and it's working. I've got this radio sitting over here, and even with all my lights and stuff down here and my wall warts and everything else going on, it's not too bad. And I'm going to not be able to play it for very long because obviously the Nazis will get me. And turn that back down and come over here on the volume on this. Well, the song just ended. Put the song back. Okay, so turn that back down, come back over here. So, it's successful. Now I'm going to take it upstairs, which is where I want it to be at, and make sure that's going to work upstairs. And if so, I think we got a winner here.
Another suffered from a sack, a 99-cent heart attack. Black top, I caught the first bus I could hop from there.
Okay folks, so I guess that's going to wrap this up on this AM whole house transmitter I got from Ron out in California. And that repair on the antenna fixed it. It works great. I demoed it on pretty much all the radios that I have restored that are in the house right now. Some of the radios I've restored I don't no longer have because I gave them as gifts. But you saw the 55C Atwater Kent, I think was the first one. And the 47 Mantola, the little Emerson CF255, the Motorola 1957. One radio that you guys saw that was in my bedroom was a 1940 Philco 155 that I restored before I was ever even doing videos. I might take and give you guys a close-up on that radio one of these days because it has some interesting features. But yeah, there's pretty much all the radios work just fine with that transmitting, and very happy. So the next video that you guys will be seeing will be on the 54C, the Philco 54C. I should get that up in another week or two, I hope. But from Gregg at Gregg's Vintage Workshop, I thank you if you're a new subscriber. If you're not a new subscriber and you're just watching me for the first time, I hope that you will subscribe. And so with that, thank you for watching. I hope you all stay safe.